Well, hey folks, how y'all doing? This is Fat Guy Flies RC. Oh, I've got something on the lens there. Excuse me. All right, show you something interesting. Now, this is my retail rescue. This is the Flyzone DHC Beaver. Okay, I think I'm saying it right. Now, this plane has been out for as long since discontinued. I've painted mine black and white. But something interesting, you know, you look at the new planes coming out in the past couple of years, your boy, oh, aren't they the engineering marvels and everything? Well, Flyzone had that beat a long time ago. If you look everywhere on this plane, you will not see the first control rod or linkage anywhere exposed. Okay? Everything in this plane is internalized. The aileron controls, the rudder control, everything is inside. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, she's got lights, landing lights, nav lights, even got a little bitty blinking tail light that you probably can't see. Now, high wing plane. I'm considering this a Remaiden because I had this thing sitting in my mothball fleet for a couple years. Had her receiver in her, old receiver in her that wasn't really doing all that well, and I put a new what's that, oleo prop, the ones the OMP Hobby sells, the E003. It's a 12x6, I believe. And I also put an AR620 antennaless receiver in her, so she's got no kind of stabilization or anything, just an AR620 and the wind. So right aileron, left aileron, up elevator, down elevator, right rudder, left rudder. I'm gonna get her up, see if I can get her trimmed, and try to have a little bit of fun with her. Definitely needs some left aileron. Like I say, you're gonna get your bird up 3 mistakes high whenever you're fixing your trim. Into the wind, so she's kind of climbing a little bit, which is okay. Still think I need a little bit of up elevator. She's flying pretty good now. All right. Like I say, I got no kind of stabilization or anything in her. Oh yeah, looking pretty good now. Maybe too much left elevator. Oh well, I keep forgetting the wind's coming from the southwest, so that's going to affect things. But not bad at all. Not bad at all. Let's see if we can't.
Landing flaps.
Hey, no mix needed that I can tell.
Flaps up.
Yeah, I didn't need any mix there. She didn't balloon and she didn't dive on me whenever I put the flaps in, landing flaps in. So let's see takeoff flaps and see how she does. All right, we're gonna try takeoff flaps. I'm running a Hobby Star 2700 3S in her. Well, gonna have to put a little bit of up elevator mix with them flaps, or bring them flaps down a little bit more, because she did not want to lift off for me.
Landing flaps.
Good flying plane though. For a retail rescue, When I bought this plane years ago at a hobby store in Sebring that's long since shut down, thank you internet. But you can't complain, or you can't get too mad at people for buying stuff off the internet. It's easier to do. It comes right to your house, and you have the full selection of things. But unfortunately, the internet is usually what kills the small hobby shops. Yeah. Full throttle. Right there's full throttle. So she's not a slouch.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
But anyways, I got this at a hobby shop in Sebring, Florida called Big Lake Hobbies. And it was a consignment plane. And paid $60 for her. She had the floats, but the wing struts and several things were broke on her, and I had to go in there basically rebuild them, and couldn't get parts for her because she's long since discontinued, so I had to kind of build everything on my own. You know, she kind of wants to go into the wind there. But the floats were damaged. A lot of stuff was damaged on the plane, so
Landing flaps.
can't get too but for $60, you know, she did fly after I fixed the struts and the wings, so I can't really complain. And for a plane that's got flaps and all the light and landing lights and nav lights and everything worked, you know, hey, I think I got a good deal.
Flaps up.
All right, let's take our retail rescue up one more time, or maybe a couple more times. Like I said, I'm running a 2700 3S in her. Still think she needs a little up elevator. Boy, she loves her rudder. Loves that rudder. She'll slow right down for you too.
Time remaining 1 minute.
Of course, the Beaver is the Flyzone Beaver is what this is a famous northern plane that's used for mail drops and cargo carry, and just a good all around. It's a bush plane, very reliable. And that's a good looking plane for a $60 plane. Can't go wrong, folks. You don't have to always fly the latest and the best and the biggest and the most expensive planes from FMS and E-Flight and all those places.
Landing flaps.
Sometimes you can find yourself a nice secondhand plane at a retail shop and or a swap meet, and just have an absolute blast with them. And this is a perfect example of such. All right, now
Motor off.
three cell plane, 5-minute flight. Just to show you some of the features. Oh, let me put the flaps back up.
Flaps up.
The flaps are, interestingly enough, are controlled by a push-pull kind of system right here. This arm of this servo goes back and forth and is what puts them flaps up and down. So one servo for those flaps. Now, your battery bay is here, and the battery sits down in a well right there. No chain or no move back and forth. That's it. So a 2200 up to a 27, maybe even a 3000, as long as you can get your hatch to close. You can still find these planes. They're, you know, swap meets, and like I said, found mine at a retail shop, and just, you know, great detail. You've got lights, you've got clear windows, you know, you got the nav light there, you've got the flashing lights on either end. I guess it's flat. Maybe it's not flashing right now. Green and red light. You got the flashing light on top there, right there. Okay, and then if you go to the back of the tail, pick that up. See, there's a little bit flashing light right there. All right, folks, there you go. And let's I was going to take the battery out and show you how much battery juice I got left. And I know y'all are thinking, well, why are you doing a review of a plane that's going to be almost impossible to get? My point is if you can get a hold of an older plane, you can still have just as much fun with it. 72% on a 5-minute flight. Oh, come on. Very efficient. But my point is, you can get some of these older planes at retail shops, go through them, make sure your ESC works, make sure your motor works, make sure all your linkages, everything is solid. Do any repairs, and chances are you're going to pay a quarter of the original price of the plane. Go home, have a little fun with it, getting her put back together really good, and then fly her. Now, one mod I did do is the ESC. I changed it to an XT60, and also I cut an air hole vent because this plane did not have any way for the air to get out. So I cut me an air hole vent. But other than that, she's basically stock. Oh yeah, and I put a new prop on it. All right, folks, y'all have a good one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget, folks, faith, family, and friends, and them planes, even old ones. Bye-bye.